Most people want more money. They talk about it, dream about it, chase it, but they forget money follows laws, real laws, invisible laws, and the thing is, these laws don't bend for anyone. You can work hard all your life and still struggle if you ignore them. But once you understand these hidden principles, money starts showing up differently, not just in your bank account, but in how you think, how you feel, and how you live. Money doesn't just come to people who want it, it comes to people who respect how it works. And the real game isn't just about strategy. It's about alignment. It's about cleaning up your mindset. It's about how you think when nobody's watching, how you act when nobody's clapping. That's where the shift begins. See, spiritual laws don't care about your degree, your looks, or your background. They care about how you carry yourself. They care about what you believe. They respond to how you treat people, how you speak about wealth, how you handle pressure. Most people don't learn these laws in school. They don't teach you this in college. You learn them in real life, through mistakes, through struggle, through awareness. But once you learn them, you don't unsee them. You move differently. This video is not for people who just want tips. This is for people who want truth, who are willing to face their patterns, who are ready to let go of excuses and step into full ownership. Because money is spiritual. It reflects who you are. And if you're not growing on the inside, you'll keep hitting the same wall no matter how hard you try on the outside. So sit up, focus, open your mind. What you're about to hear can change the direction of your life. Not through hype, but through clarity. These aren't theories. These are real laws. And when you live by them, money starts working with you, not against you. Part 1. Respect money. Daily as a reflection of your values. Money is not just paper. It's not just numbers in a bank. It's not just something you use to buy things. Money is a mirror. It reflects who you are, how you think, and what you truly value. The way you treat money says more about you than you think. And the truth is, most people don't respect it. They want more of it, but they don't treat it right. They wish for wealth, but their actions tell a different story. And that's why their money never grows. Because money doesn't stay where it's not respected. You can't expect money to show up for you when you treat it casually. You can't expect more of it if you waste what you already have. Look at your daily habits. Look at what you spend on. Look at how fast it disappears from your hands. That tells you everything. Some people say they're broke, but they spend without thinking. They call it just living, but the truth is, it's just avoiding responsibility. If you want to grow your money, you've got to start by respecting every dollar that enters your life. No matter how small, no matter how temporary. Respect means paying attention. It means having a plan. It means not spending money just to feel better for a moment. It means not throwing it away on things that don't build you. It means stopping long enough to ask, is this choice helping me or hurting me? Most people never ask that. They act on impulse, emotion, boredom, and then they wonder why their money disappears so fast. It's not a mystery, it's discipline. It's emotional control. It's about whether your values are stronger than your craving. Every time you use money, you're telling the world what you believe matters. And if what you value is entertainment, comfort, image, then that's where your money will go. But if what you value is growth, health, legacy, then your choices will look different. And over time, those choices stack up, they build your life, one transaction at a time. That's what most people ignore. They look for big wins, but it's the small daily actions that tell the truth. If you make $10 and spend 11, that's not just poor math, it's a sign that you haven't yet understood how money responds to character. It doesn't stay with people who treat it carelessly. It doesn't flow to people who can't manage it. It doesn't reward people who lie to themselves. But if you start honoring your money, even at the smallest level, it begins to grow. That's not just finance. That's personal responsibility. Money wants structure. It wants clarity. It wants leadership. And you don't need to be rich to give it that. You just need to be intentional. Get a notebook. Track your spending. Look at your patterns. Are you moving with discipline or emotion? Are you investing in your future or just escaping your present? These are hard questions, but they'll change your life if you're willing to answer them. Because until you respect money, it will never respect you back. People say, I'll take money more seriously once I have more of it. No, you take it seriously now, and that's how you get more. You build the habits before the success. You create the discipline before the abundance. That's the real secret. Money grows in the hands of people who know what to do with it, who don't waste it, who don't fear it, who don't idolize it. Just people who understand its purpose and use it wisely. You also have to pay attention to how you speak about money. If you're always saying, I never have enough, or money goes so fast, or rich people are lucky, then you're reinforcing weakness. You're training your mind to believe that money is always out of reach, and what you believe, you live. So speak differently. Say, I'm learning to manage money better. Say, I treat every dollar with respect. Say, I'm building habits that attract more. This isn't fake talk, it's discipline. Speak like someone who honors the future. Speak like someone who takes ownership. One of the most powerful signs of growth is how you treat your money when nobody's watching, not when you're in public, not when you're showing off, but when it's just you alone and you get paid. What do you do with it? Do you save some? Do you invest? Do you give? Do you plan? Or do you waste it on things that disappear in a day? That answer shows whether you're on your way up or staying stuck. And if you don't like the answer, good. That means you still have time to change it. Your relationship with money reflects your relationship with yourself. If you value yourself, you don't blow your future for a quick pleasure. If you see your worth, you make better decisions. You protect your energy. You plan for your family. You think ahead. That's what respect looks like. Not fear, not greed, but maturity. And maturity creates stability. It creates peace. And it allows you to build something solid that doesn't fall apart under pressure. So today, don't just look at your bank account. Look at how you think. Look at what you believe. Look at the choices you make in silence. Are you showing respect or just saying the right words? Because money doesn't care what you say. It responds to what you do. And if you start making different decisions today, your future will look different tomorrow. This is where change begins. Not with luck, not with chance, not with some secret formula, but with daily respect. Respect for your time, respect for your energy, respect for your values. And if you can carry that into your financial life, everything begins to shift. Not overnight, but permanently. Part 2, build habits that align with your financial beliefs every single day. You're building something. Whether you see it or not, your habits are building the life you live in. And when it comes to money, this couldn't be more true. People think wealth is about how much they make, but that's only half the story. The real truth is, it's about what you do with what you make. And that comes down to habits. You don't rise to your goals. You fall to your habits. If your habits don't match your financial beliefs, you'll stay stuck. You'll keep saying you want freedom while building a lifestyle of stress, and you won't even realize it until years pass and nothing's changed. So you've got to stop and check yourself. What do you really believe about money? Do you believe you deserve peace? Do you believe success takes discipline? Do you believe you can create your own security? If the answer is yes, then your habits need to match that. Because if your actions don't reflect your beliefs, it creates friction. And friction leads to frustration. You say one thing, but do another. You want to grow, but you keep spending on what holds you back. You want freedom, but you can't stop reaching for comfort. That's the conflict. That's where people stay stuck. You don't fix this by reading more books. You fix this by adjusting how you live, moment by moment. If you say you value your future, prove it by saving. If you say you want success, prove it by studying. If you say you want financial peace, prove it by budgeting. Habits are proof, not talk, not hype, not dreams. Habits tell the truth. And when your habits support your beliefs, everything starts working in your favor. Not perfectly, but consistently. And that's what matters. Look at your life right now. What are the habits you've built around money? Are you planning every week? Are you writing down your expenses? Are you spending with intention? Or are you winging it, reacting to everything and hoping it works out? That's not strategy, that's survival. And survival can't build wealth. You need structure. You need rhythm. You need decisions you make before emotions show up. That's what habits do. They protect you from your own weak moments. Habits also protect your energy. When you have systems in place, you don't waste time wondering. You don't panic every month. You don't fall apart when something breaks. You know what you're working toward. You've already made the decision ahead of time. And that gives you strength. That gives you space to think, to grow, to plan. That's where wealth begins, not in chaos, but in calm, in consistency, in daily decisions that match what you say matters. If you believe in growth, then study daily. If you believe in earning more, then build skills daily. If you believe in legacy, then prepare daily. Don't say you believe, show it. And when you fail, get back up. That's part of it. Nobody builds perfect habits overnight. But you don't need perfect, you need commitment. You need to keep showing up, even when it's boring, even when no one's watching, even when you feel stuck. Because that's where the compound effect kicks in. You plant the seeds long before the harvest comes. And if your habits are aligned, the harvest will come. There's no shortcut around this. You can't buy discipline, you can't borrow it, you have to build it. And you build it by doing small things right day after day. That's how trust is built. That's how confidence is built. That's how you stop being afraid of your future. Because you know you're building it piece by piece. And even when things get hard, you've got structure. You've got values in place. You've got habits that guide you when your emotions want to quit. So ask yourself, does my behavior match my beliefs? Do my habits reflect the life I say I want? Or am I just hoping things change without doing the work? That question stings, but it wakes you up. And once you wake up, you start building on purpose. You don't waste your energy chasing every new idea. You focus, you stick to what works, you refine your process, and that's how people grow. Not with hype, but with habits. And here's the truth, most people don't want to hear. Until you build habits that match your beliefs, your life won't change. You'll keep talking about goals that never come true. You'll keep watching other people rise while you stay frustrated. And you'll blame everything but the truth. But the truth is this, habits shape your life, period. If you want peace, build peaceful habits. If you want wealth, build wealth-building habits. It's not magic, it's maturity. It's personal responsibility, and it works. So don't just talk about discipline, live it. Don't just hope for better, plan for it. Don't just say you're ready. Show it. Build the habits. Get uncomfortable. Get consistent. Get focused. Because when your habits finally match your financial beliefs, money begins to move differently. Not because the world changed, but because you did. Part 3. Speak only what supports your vision of abundance. The words you speak shape your world. Every sentence you say, every phrase you repeat, it's doing something. It's either building you or weakening you. And when it comes to money, your words carry weight more than you think. The way you speak about money tells your mind what to expect. See, if you keep saying, I never have enough, don't be surprised when you never do. If you keep saying, I'm always broke, don't be shocked when your wallet matches. Words become beliefs. Beliefs become behavior. And behavior becomes your results. It all starts with what you say. Some people don't understand this. They talk about being rich, but every word out of their mouth is full of fear, doubt, and struggle. They say things like, money is hard to make, rich people are greedy, or life's too expensive for someone like me. Then they wonder why money avoids them. It's not because the system is against them. It's because they keep rejecting wealth with their words, and your mind listens. Every time you speak, your brain records it. And over time, it starts to believe that's your reality. So here's the truth. You can't attract what you constantly speak against. If you want abundance, speak abundance. If you want peace, speak peace. If you want wealth, speak like someone who's serious about it. That doesn't mean fake it. It means take responsibility for how you talk about your life. Watch the language you use when you talk about bills, income, savings, and goals. Don't joke about being broke. Don't casually say, I can't afford that. Say, I'm planning for that. Say, I'm working toward that. Say, that's part of my future, not my present. That small shift trains your mind to see growth instead of limits. The way you talk in private matters even more than what you say out loud. What are you saying when it's just you and your thoughts? When the bills show up? When business is slow? When plans don't go as expected? Do you spiral into doubt or do you speak strength? This isn't about hype. It's about personal discipline. It's about understanding that your words are tools. And if you don't use them well, they can destroy your focus before you even begin. Most people don't ruin their life with big mistakes. They ruin it with small words repeated daily. I'm tired. I can't do this. Nothing works out for me. They think it's harmless, but those words dig holes. They lower standards, they kill momentum, and once you lose momentum, it's hard to build again. That's why it's critical to build the habit of strong language. Not perfect language, just strong, clear, and aligned with your future. You need to create a new normal in how you speak. Start catching yourself. When you say something negative, stop and replace it. When you say something weak, turn it into something intentional. Instead of I'm always behind, say I'm learning how to manage my time. Instead of I'll never get ahead, say I'm improving every day. This is not fake positivity, it's mental alignment. You're training your inner world to support your outer results. Speak like someone who expects to grow. Speak like someone who honors their effort. Speak like someone who believes their future is worth building. That kind of talk makes you take action. It makes you step into better habits. It lifts your energy when you feel stuck. That's the power of intentional speech. And once you build it, it becomes a standard. You won't even tolerate sloppy words anymore because you'll feel how they pull you down. Even when you're struggling, don't speak like a victim. You can be honest without being helpless. You can say things are tight, but I'm finding solutions. You can say this season is testing me, but I'm growing through it. That's how strong people talk. That's how people who attract success speak. They don't lie about the struggle, but they don't feed it either. They speak from ownership. They speak from clarity, and money respects that energy. You also need to be mindful of who you're speaking around. If your friends only talk about how broke they are, and you join in, you're reinforcing that mindset. But if you speak differently, if you talk about growth, goals, planning, they'll either rise with you or fall away. Either way, your words are setting the tone. You're creating a new environment with how you talk. And that's how leaders move. They raise the standard through how they speak. Seek your vision often. Say your goals out loud. Remind yourself what you're working toward. Speak strength into your mornings. Speak clarity into your nights. Speak focus into your routines. Don't wait until you have money to speak like someone who does. Speak like someone who's preparing for more. Because once your words rise, your thinking rises. And once your thinking rises, your behavior changes. That's how the shift happens from speech to reality. So starting today, become a guardian of your mouth. Don't let sloppy language shape your life. Speak with purpose. Speak with strength. Speak only what supports your vision of abundance. And over time, your words will turn into action, your action into habits, and your habits into the results you've been waiting for. Part 4, give with clarity, not guilt or emotional pressure. Giving is a powerful thing. It can build your heart. It can lift others. It can open the door to peace, to growth, even to wealth. But here's something most people never talk about. Giving, when done from guilt or pressure, loses its power. And not only that, it starts to damage your relationship with money, because when you give from guilt, you're not really giving. You're surrendering. You're sacrificing your clarity to please others or silence your own emotion. And when you keep doing that, money begins to feel like a burden, not a tool. And that's when your whole financial world starts to drift. You see, giving should be a decision, not a reaction. It should come from purpose, not emotional confusion. Some people give because they don't want to look selfish. Some people give because they're afraid of what others might say if they don't. Some give because they were taught that saying no means you're a bad person. But that kind of giving is empty. It drains you. And over time, it builds resentment. It keeps you stuck in financial habits that don't reflect strength. They reflect fear. You're not serving people when you give from guilt. You're just staying small to avoid discomfort. That's why clarity is so important. You need to know why you're giving. You need to know what your limits are. You need to choose it, not be pushed into it. You can't give it everyone. You can't solve every problem. You can't save every situation. You can be the people who try to do that, they end up exhausted, broke, disappointed. Not because giving is wrong, but because their boundaries were never clear. They never decided what was right for them. And if you don't decide for yourself, someone else will decide for you. Giving should match your values. It should line up with your mission. It should feel honest. Not always easy, but honest. There's a difference between sacrifice and self-neglect. Giving can cost you something, yes, but it should never cost you your peace, your dignity, or your future. If giving breaks your structure, if it throws off your plan, if it creates bitterness, you're not giving from the right place. That's not abundance. That's pressure. And here's the deeper truth. Real giving starts with giving to yourself first. Not in a selfish way, but in a responsible way. You take care of your own needs so that your giving becomes stronger, not weaker. You manage your energy so you can help from a place of strength. If you're always empty, how can you fill anyone else? That's the mistake people make. They drain themselves thinking it's noble, but you can't pour from a broken cup. You build up your own life so that your giving flows from fullness, not from guilt. When you give from a strong place, it feels different. You're not desperate. You're not emotional. You're not trying to earn approval. You're just giving from a centered place. And that kind of giving builds trust with yourself and with others. You don't need to explain it. You don't need to justify it. You're clear. And that's what people respect. That's what creates impact. When your giving is rooted in purpose, not pressure, you also need to give without attachment. Some people give and then expect something in return. They expect thanks. They expect recognition. They expect others to act a certain way. And when they don't, they feel angry or hurt. But that's not giving, that's bargaining. That's manipulation in disguise. Real giving has no strings. Real giving lets go. It says, I'm doing this because it's aligned with who I am. And then it moves on. That's freedom. That's spiritual strength. That's clarity. It's okay to say no. It's okay to tell people that doesn't work for me right now. It's okay to protect your priorities. You are not bad for setting boundaries. You are not cold for managing your resources. You are not greedy for building your future first. In fact, that's the path to real generosity because you're building something strong enough to give more later. You're creating a life that can help more people in the long run. That's leadership. That's responsibility. Look around. How much of your giving is emotional? How much of it is rushed, anxious, forced? And how much is thoughtful, intentional, steady? Be honest. If it's mostly guilt-driven, it's time to shift. Not to stop giving, but to start giving right. Start with a plan. Decide who you support, why, and how much. Make it part of your structure, not your stress. That's how you give with peace. That's how you stay aligned. And when you do it right, giving becomes powerful again. It lifts you. It energizes you. It reminds you that you're building something bigger than just yourself, but you're doing it with strength, not sacrifice. You're doing it with love, not fear, and you're doing it with wisdom, not guilt. That's how wealth grows, not just in your pocket, but in your spirit. Part 5. Think long-term when you make every purchase. Every time you spend money, you're casting a vote for your future. And most people never stop to realize that. They think money is just about what you can buy today. What feels good right now, what fills the gap, or silences the discomfort. But here's the truth. Every dollar you spend is shaping the next chapter of your life. Either it's building your vision or it's stealing from it. And the way you spend tells the truth about what you believe, what you value, and where you're headed. That's why this law is so important. If you want to grow, if you want peace, if you want real wealth, you've got to start thinking long term when you make every single purchase. Not some of them, every single one. Because the little things add up. They stack and they compound in either direction. 10 careless purchases might not break your life, but one day you'll look up and wonder where the time and money went. You'll wonder why your life still feels stuck even though you've been working so hard. The answer's in the choices. People who don't grow financially almost always make one mistake. They only think in the moment. They spend on emotion. They buy because they're bored. They swipe the card because it's easy. They trade clarity for convenience. And then when it's time to invest in something meaningful, learning, business, savings, growth, they don't have the room. Not because they didn't make enough, but because they spent it without thinking. That's the silent killer of wealth. Emotional reactive spending. You've got to flip that pattern. You've got to pause before you spend. Ask yourself, does this move me closer to the life I want? Does this support my long-term peace or just short-term comfort? Is this helping me build the structure I need, or am I paying to escape the structure I avoid? These questions will stop you from making weak decisions. And over time, they'll build new patterns. You'll start seeing your money as a tool instead of a toy. You'll start seeing purchases as investments, not just in things, but in who you're becoming. Thinking long-term doesn't mean you never enjoy your money. It means you make your enjoyment part of the plan, not the reaction. You budget for peace, you budget for fun, you prepare for both. But you don't let the moment steal your momentum. You don't let every feeling turn into a purchase. That kind of self-control is rare. But it's also the difference between stress and stability. This is especially important if you're building from the ground up. When money's tight, you can't afford to keep making decisions that only serve you for 1 hour, 1 day, 1 weekend. You need every dollar to work for you. That means food that fuels your body, books that sharpen your mind, investments that build your future, rest that recharges your energy, not things that break your bank and leave you empty next week. Here's a rule that works. If something doesn't help you grow, protect, or prepare, it needs to be questioned, not judged, just questioned. Because not everything that feels good is useful, and not everything that's popular is wise. You don't need to impress anyone. You need to build a life that feels good on the inside. And that starts with the choices you make when no one's watching, when no one will know. That's where financial character is built. Quietly, daily. Most people who build wealth do something very different. They look ahead, they imagine their future self, and ask, will this decision help them? They see the bigger picture, and even when they have money, they're still careful. Not out of fear, but out of focus. They understand that money can create freedom or chaos depending on how you treat it. And they choose clarity, they choose patience, they choose discipline, because they know that's what lasts. So every time you're about to make a purchase, pause just for a second and ask, is this how someone with goals would spend? Is this helping me build what I say I want? Or is this just another distraction wrapped in comfort? That 1 second of awareness can save you years of regret. That one decision can shift everything. This doesn't mean you become cold or rigid. It means you become awake. It means you stop living on autopilot. It means you start honoring your future with the same energy you used to give your impulses. And that's where power comes from, not in denial, but in direction. Knowing where you're going, acting like it, living like it. The more you think long term, the better your life becomes. Not instantly, but steadily. You sleep better, you feel stronger. You stop fearing the end of the month. you stop needing every purchase to give you a hit of joy, because your joy starts coming from progress, from peace, from knowing you're building something that matters. So here's the challenge. From now on, every time money leaves your hand, make it count. Make it part of a plan. Make it serve the life you're creating, not just the feeling you're escaping. That's how you start moving in the right direction. One choice at a time, one habit at a time, one decision at a time. Think long term. Spend like your future depends on it, because it does. You don't need more luck. You don't need a miracle. You don't need a secret formula. What you need is a mindset that takes money seriously, a spirit that respects discipline, a daily life that lines up with what you say you want. That's how real change happens. These laws, they've always been there, but most people never slow down long enough to follow them. They stress, they survive, and they call it normal. But you weren't built for that. You were built to grow, to build something strong, to create peace, to use money as a tool, not as a chain. So if something in you is tired of the cycle, if you're done making excuses, if you're ready to rise, then apply what you've heard today, not tomorrow, not next month. Now, because these spiritual laws don't respond to talk, they respond to action. They respond to discipline. They respond to clarity. And if you follow them, they'll change your life. Quietly, steadily, permanently. You've been given time. You've been given energy. Now it's time to respect both. Build the habits. Watch your words. Plan with vision. Say no when you need to. Think long term. Protect your circle. And more than anything, become the kind of person who can handle wealth. Because once you do that, money will stop running from you and start showing up for you. Now go do the work, and this time do it like your future depends on it, because it does.